Hi friends, this is Sanjay Parhar. I'm from Houston, Texas, and as we promised that we're going to talk about the future of tour and travel industry, especially we're going to bring a lot of notable faces, and we will learn as we go. So here we are with Dr. Manohar Sajnani, Dean Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism in Amity University. Welcome to our show, Dr. Manohar.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And along with Dr. Manohar, we have Mr. Anand Rai, who is a professor in GL Bajaj. Hi, Anand. And Mr. Rohit, who are travel agent and has served hundreds of customers. Hi, Mr.
Hi, Sanjay.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Great. So now let's talk about it. The thing has been changed. Thing is changing. Thing is going towards very interesting direction. I would not like to use any negative word, but very interesting direction. And so in this changing world, first of all, we want to hear about you, Dr. Manohar. Tell us more. I have gone through your page. There are so many things to talk about. Please tell us about you and university.
Sanjay, thank you. I am a 16-year-old baby with Amity University now.
Sure.
And I have seen the university growing from strength of 10,000 students to 175,000 students today.
Okay.
From one campus to 11 university campuses in India and 35 campuses across the world. And today Amity is offering multiple programs ranging from sun rising industry programs to very specialized programs like nuclear science, space science, and soon we are going to launch our own satellite, which will be for education purpose. Wow. And we are into, Amity is one university which has filed more than 1,300 patents. This was the figure yesterday. Wow. This might have changed today. And Amity has more than 35,000 research publications in leading journals with high impact factor. And the university focus of university is on research and research basically.
Wow.
And it is among the top 3% universities of the world today, and only university in the Asian region which has two great accreditations, WASC and QAA. And all our programs are sectoral accreditations. Like, for example, my tourism program is the only one in the country which has United Nations World Tourism Organization certification for the quality of the programs since 2013. And you will be happy to know that for last 2 years, World Tourism Forum, Lausanne, Switzerland, has identified Amity Institute of Travel and Tourism as knowledge partner for their young talent program.
Wow.
So this is a brief introduction. The intro can go on and on about Amity because today, because the alumni of Amity is so rich today,
right.
And they are making strides in all sectors, in all parts of society, all spectrum of society. So Amity is doing great job.
Right. And one another thing in our conversation, you mentioned that Amity is not only in India, but it's bigger presence in outside India as well. Yeah. So could you highlight on that?
See, I'll start from Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, which I represent from Noida, which is a mother campus. And out of Noida, we are into Dubai, we are into Tashkent, we are into London. All these campuses are our satellite campuses, offshore campuses, which are being academically overseen from Noida campus. Other than this, we have 3 campuses in US. We are in San Francisco, we are in Seattle, we are in New York.
Wow.
These all 3 are our own campuses, and New York campus is 174 acre. It's a complete coastline with us, right on the seashore. Beautiful heritage campus. Then we are present, we have 2 campuses in Singapore. We have a campus in Beijing. We have a campus in Mauritius. We have a campus in Abu Dhabi. We have a campus in Sharjah. We have a campus in Amsterdam, and we are expanding. We have just got one campus in Paris and one in Nairobi. And we are adding new campuses year upon year.
Wow. And I'm sure I'm gonna, like you mentioned, it's across the shores. Long Island one, especially New York one, would be very interesting, very pleasing to watch. Actually,
and see what we do, Sanjay, these campuses are primarily, every student of Amity gets the opportunity to undergo 6 to 8 weeks study in any of these campuses.
Great.
And they don't have to pay anything extra for this.
Wow.
So this is providing global exposure to our students. I mean, it helps them to change their, thinking perspective. They become global citizens. The purpose is to make them global citizens.
Absolutely.
And to facilitate this, every student has to learn a foreign language.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
So that, when they travel, so they can easily communicate. Effectively, they can communicate.
Right. Great. So like you mentioned, the focus of Amity and yours, as well as a lot of research. It's a research-driven university. That's what, so to speak, right? And so now we are touching COVID-19, right? And what are the impact and what are the changes? What are the problems you see because of this COVID-19 in coming future? How would be the new tourism industry based on your thought?
Sanjay, look, tourism is one industry which is worst affected.
Absolutely.
And this is a very sensitive industry. If we look at various reports, these reports convey very negative image or negative vibes to the mind of individual. But I think you and me sitting and talking on this issue means we are very positive.
Absolutely.
We want to see tourism coming back on the track soon. Now, if I look at the reports of UNWTO, WTTC, which are talking about great losses in tourism across the world, the report says that tourism may lose something like 25 to 30% of the business.
Right.
Which means a great loss of business. I mean, we may lose anywhere between 220 million to 450 million foreign tourist arrivals. It's a big number. Right. If I have projected for my industry as a UNWTO or WTTC that there will be approximately 1,461 million tourist arrivals in 2021. Now this is subtracted or it has gone down by 25 to 30%. It is not just number, it is also the revenue loss.
Absolutely.
It is not just the revenue loss, but it is also the job loss.
Right.
Big time.
When I say job loss, that means approximately the projection says 50 million jobs will be lost.
Yeah.
When I say 50 million, 35 million jobs will be from Asia Pacific region. And 35 million jobs, out of 35 million, 30 million jobs are going to be from India, from Asia.
From Asia. Wow.
From Asia. Yeah. And out of Asia, India is going to lose something like 4 to 5 crore jobs. That means if I look at tourism, not as a tourism, but as a conglomeration or as a assimilation or as a combination of various processes. That's why. Now if you look at the world, the world is looking at tourism. You look at Spain, you look at Italy. I was reading recently, Sicily in Italy, southern Italy, the most beautiful part of Mediterranean. They have come out with a package of 30 million euros. They say that 50% of your hotel room will be paid by the government. 50% of airfare will be borne by the government. 100% subsidy on the monument entry by the government. But start traveling. It is not just because they want travel to happen. It is because they know tourism and travel alone can actually revive many sectors.
Right.
Be it insurance, be it transportation, be it a construction, be it telecommunication, be it infrastructure, fabrication of furnitures. A lot of other sectors can actually get revived.
Bigger addition would be the job. Job would be like the...
And then you can see the multi-factor of this on various sectors when it comes to jobs.
Wow.
So tourism is, I think, if it is the first affected first affected. Now I'll share with you one example of China. A report had come yesterday that how tourism, I mean, this is a great learning, Rohit, for you also, as a tour operator, travel agent. You know what China has done? China has extended their May holiday by 1 day.
Okay.
From 1st to 5th of May. Normally it is from 1st to 4th of May. So they've extended the May holiday group from 1st of 4th May to 1st to 5th of May. Now they have seen a great increase in the number of domestic travel. They are not allowing anybody to enter. They are only allowing the domestic tourism to move in. What we call it intra-regional. We call it intra-regional. So what is happening is they have seen a rise in the trips, intra-regional trips, to the tune of 24.3 million trips a day.
Oh wow,
that's good step. Very good step.
Million.
Wow.
And which is exactly 70% of what they saw last year.
Wow.
Whereas last year it was 4 days, but now it is for 5 days. Never mind. But you know what they have done is that they are trying to build confidence in the local population that they should travel. They should experience the safety, experience the hygienity, the cleanliness of those places. Now, Sanjay, it is not stopping here. You know what they have done is they have made 80% of the 4,000 top class attractions booking online. Rohit, it's all online. Booking is done online. Now, when you are doing booking online, the capacity, like for example, Sanjay, you have the remote of my speaking and not speaking, right? You have a remote. Similarly, the government and the agencies have the control. If they see that one particular attraction has reached to 30% of its capacity, which they have sealed, they have capped, every attraction can receive only 30% of its normal capacity to maintain the risk, to control the risk factor of, distancing and everything. So they are trying to control that factor in this way. Every attraction will receive only 30% of the capacity. And this is done through online booking. Now, further to this, how they have done, they have come out with a remote monitoring mechanism. All these 4,000 attractions are placed on their remote sensing. Wherever they feel that there is a little crowd management is the issue, they divert the crowd from that attraction to other attraction.
Wow.
Great management.
And they have made, the earning from this intra-regional movement is approximately 120 some billion US dollars. Not sorry. It is I have noted down somewhere. It is 1 point some billion US dollars. But the revenue is too good.
Right.
But point is that tourism is coming back to its track in China.
Great to hear that.
The message is that if tourism can, go back, it can come forward with the same speed. The only thing is that we can look at it as a tunnel. We have all seen tunnels,
Right.
When I'm traveling by train, or if I travel to Switzerland, in Switzerland, under the Alps, I have got so many tunnels. I know this tunnel starts from here, it will end there.
Right.
But this tunnel we are passing through is unknown. When it is going to end, where it is going to end, how it is going to end, it's very unprecedented, unknown. But one thing is for sure, when it ends and when we come back to our business, people like Rohit, they have hunger for business. Right. They want to do well and they are ready. So they'll come back to business with new practices, new processes, and then, they'll prove that, we are ready to bounce back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Today's tourism is really badly affected, no doubt about it. But then everyone has to be very positive that, every distress has opportunities.
That's what we look at.
Right.
So this has given us an opportunity to sit, look back, do introspection, and come back strong.
And innovate. Yes.
This technological innovations we never thought. Today when I was in another webinar, I could see, people in their 60s and 70s were attending the webinar on Zoom. And, I rarely see such people using technology. But then they have switched over to technology. So this is the best opportunity I think we have driven out of this distress.
Right. And so that's a great insight about other countries bringing a lot of innovation and doing things. And so, yes, despite this unknown tunnel, and there's a hope which is basically been created in some of the examples like China and Italy. What is our hope? And what is the hope for the India? What are the things which India should implement, or what are the things which I would go deeper, a typical hotel or a tour operator should do in India for next 1 year, because that will be like a very hard pressing item for them as a economically, financially, right? So we'll need,
Sanjay, I'll go back to, the example of China.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason for giving that example was that if we look at all the components of tourism industry, hotel, tour operator, and you will be happy to know that even online booking for the car booking has gone up by 10% in China.
Oh, that's very odd. That's very odd to hear.
Because China has promoted travel by road. They said you get the flexibility and you can overcome that fear of cleanliness and hygiene factor. You travel by your own car. So, they have come up with a scheme wherein you pay 20% less on your normal, cost. So they call it saving. You are 20% saving, 30% saving on aviation, 25% on hotel. So all these savings which hotels are offering, airlines are offering, monuments are offering, is actually subsidized by the government.
Wow.
So what I mean to say is that in India also, our government is very active.
Right.
Already the organizations representing the travel trade, be it hotels, be it travel agents, be it tour operators, be it Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India, be it Outbound Tour Operators of India, be it pilgrimage tour operators, be it guide association, everybody has come together. Because now this period has taught us a lesson that we should actually have a concerted, one voice agenda. That means everybody should, because we must understand one thing, Sanjay, that in India, 80% of our travel trade is under MSME. That medium and small scale enterprises.
Right.
80%.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And this MSME is now under the cash crunch. We don't have cash supply.
Big time.
Now, when we don't have cash supply, how will they pay salaries? How will they meet their operating cost? Today, Himachal has, done away with the electricity bill for 6 months. Himachal government says, Himachal is unaffected. Uttarakhand is unaffected. Sikkim is unaffected. Northeast is unaffected from COVID-19. But these states have come up with schemes, financial drives that, if you are in this sector, and we know tourism is badly hit, because ultimately I am a receiving state. Sikkim is a receiving state.
Right.
But most of the people were traveling from Delhi, Punjab. But we are not traveling. So they are losing revenue. So these governments have come out to the rescue. And they are giving them a lot of incentives and concessions. So our government is very active. And, it is just the first line of package.
Yes.
Now the government is assessing. Various reports have come. The reports have come from CII. The reports have come from various bodies. And they are now, they have started projecting. For example, one report says that total revenue loss in tourism in India will be approximately 5 lakh crores. Now, out of this 5 lakh crores, approximately 1.58 lakh crores will be in the organized sector. See the size.
Right.
Out of 5 lakh crore, only 1.58 lakh will be in the organized sector. That means remaining is all unorganized.
Unorganized sector.
Unorganized.
Wow.
That means the big loss is for that unorganized sector, which actually runs the business, the
Right.
travel show.
Right.
So the government now has to see out of these reports that how can they support this unorganized sector.
Right.
But government is very actively, coming out with schemes, and the Ministry of Tourism particularly is identifying various sectors. And they say that if tomorrow when we open up, so the first thing every operator will look up to is domestic tourism.
Absolutely.
Because on all platforms, only one voice is coming. The moment we open up, the moment our 700 plus aircrafts, which are standing at the airports today, when they start operating, where will they go? They all can't fly to international destinations. They'll fly to domestic destinations, regional sectors. Right. So, but then which sectors? Now the agents and the operators and the hoteliers and everybody is trying to find out those places. Which are those places? They are trying to identify them, and government is keen that government knows beforehand that where the rush is going to be.
Right.
So government is planning to work out now that how they can control that mobility, the movement of people, because we have the hunger for. See, human being is a social animal.
Right.
As a social animal, I always want to meet people. I want to know people. Today, I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah. Same
right.
Here,
and I'm so happy to meet Dr. Rai today.
Yes.
So he's in my neighborhood, but I'm happy to meet him today. So I'm a human being. I have a hunger to meet people, to know people, to see places, to know about cultures, and to all this I have to travel. If I have to travel, then tourism is going to
flourish. Yeah.
Yeah, flourish.
Yeah.
So government is proactively, initiating. Government has started financial subsidy. Government has started giving non-monetary benefits to the players of the sector, whether it is about the rebate in the loan. Now all RBI has issued instructions to the banks that they can give MSMEs the loan on very reduced rate of interest, and even the moratorium period is extended, which was given for 3 months, now extended to 6 months. Will be further extended, maybe further extended to 12 months. The state governments, have been given a little advice that handle tourism in a
better way. Yeah.
In a better way. Because what dividends tourism can deliver, no other industry can.
No industry can. And like you said, the tourism industry is not just tourism industry. Is basically there are many unstructured, structured associated with that. I mean, infrastructure and financial.
See, if I am traveling to a place, if I travel to a place, the moment I land at the platform or at the airport, I have small vendors located at the station at the airport. Then taxi drivers, then local guides, then the handicraft showrooms, the souvenir shops. I have got the translator, interpreters. I have got so many people associated with every movement. So tourism supports all of them.
There's lots of indirect jobs.
Lot of them.
Yeah.
Wow. And so coming back to this thing, I mean, this is a very interesting thing to learn that there is a possibility that internal tourism can be mobilized, and thanks to the leadership of India to kind of taking the right measurements and at the right time. It is such an important and necessary step at this moment. Now, while we talk about internal, how is the inbound tourism looks like, and what is the hope for inbound tourism as such?
Sanjay, is a very good question. Because we in spite of our best efforts, our inbound is still 10 million. I mean, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So now often I use the term, BC and AC. BC and AC has changed. Before Christ and after Christ has changed. Before COVID and after COVID. So now things are changing.
We learned something big today. Yes, sir.
So before COVID, what tourism was is not going to be today, and it is not going to be tomorrow. So we have to see the tourism in this perspective. So if I say before COVID, tourism was 10 million, inbound was 10 million, and post-COVID it may be higher. Maybe higher. I tell you why. We have to study. Which are those badly affected destinations. globally.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting 60% of our inbound tourism. Rohit will endorse my statement.
Yes.
60% of our inbound tourism from US and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Badly hit. The top 10 tourism destinations, out of top 10 destinations, 8 are among the top 10 badly affected COVID destinations, places in the world.
Yeah. Like you start with the US, France, Germany,
US,
and
France, Spain, Italy, China, Germany.
Yes.
You just leave two of them. Top 10. You leave two of them, Mexico and Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 tourist destinations, you leave two, Thailand and Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, when I name Thailand, Thailand is one destination, and Vietnam is one place which has started marketing aggressively for inbound.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, how they are doing inbound marketing for themselves? They are marketing in those places. They have studied the trends. For example, they have studied where the job loss is going to happen most. The most job loss is going to happen in, say, for example, Asia Pacific region. The estimate says that 46% of the jobs will be in Asia Pacific region.
Wow.
And lowest will be in Caribbean, 0.7%. This is a report of World Tourism Organization. Now, if I look at what is the job loss in Caribbean, what is the job loss in Latin America, what is the job loss in, say, Africa, what is the job loss in South America. Now, I find there the job loss is minimum, below 4%. Now, when I see that job loss is less than 4%, that means money supply is still there. Purchasing power is still there. So I have to tap those markets where pockets are deep, even today. They have purchasing power today. So they have started marketing in those destinations from where they can, and remember, if they have less job cuts, that means they are least affected by COVID.
Right.
What is going to rule the game? The rule of the game will be: I am leaving a safe destination, and I am reaching a safe destination. So there is no fear of getting infection of coronavirus.
Right.
So I am leaving Africa, I am leaving Caribbean, I am leaving, say for example, Thailand, going to Vietnam. I am leaving Myanmar, even for that matter, going to Vietnam. So these two safe places are safe. Now they are marketing. Vietnam is marketing in Northeast, Sikkim.
Right.
They are marketing in. Now the Vietnam and Thailand is going to get the MICE movement, first MICE movement in September this year. And without naming the operator, when the operator asked them, do they want any changes in the protocol? They said no. It will go as it was scheduled. That means business has the tendency to come back.
Right.
That's very good insight.
So it has, we have to understand which are those markets. Forget about Europe and US. It will take time. Second important thing is, earlier we saw 60% of our business was coming to Rajasthan, a golden triangle, and the 60% of business was for, GIT. Rohit will agree with me. It was a group movement. And these group movement was of elderly people. Now, elderly people will not travel.
Right.
Now, you have to understand that you have to tap millennials. You have to tap a different demographic altogether. And remember, these are the ones who are very cautious for two things. One, hygiene, and second is safety factor.
Absolutely.
And India, or for that matter, Asia, whole Asia, has very high risk factor. We Asians are known for our bad hygiene.
True.
So, if I want to revive my inbound from these new destinations, and for this new demography, then I have to change my product.
Right.
I'll have to change my profile.
Right.
I cannot market my product the same way. Now I'll have to market my product through a different vertical altogether. Conveying a message, loudly a message that if you are responsible, if you are a safe tourist, carrying a tag, I am a safe tourist, then I have to tell you that I am a safe destination.
Very, very great.
It's not just good enough.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Saying is not good enough. We are good at loudly, we speak out. I gave the example of China. Now this thing has spread over through social media that every monument, every attraction, the capacity is 30%. I'm not running after making money. I don't want Taj Mahal to be crowded like before COVID. No. I don't want my, UNESCO heritage monuments to be crowded the same way.
Right.
I have to now, diversify. I have to, change the flow of the tourist to other places.
Right.
I have to make sure that. And how can I do it? I can do it only by creating special pull factors for those attractions which earlier were not there.
Right.
Right. For example, earlier Northeast was known as a very remotely accessible destination. Poor roads, bad infrastructure, poor telecom, and so on and so forth. Now I have to change the profile of the product. True. Earlier my pilgrimage tourist destinations were known to be badly managed, unhygienic, unclean. Now I have to change the profile of my product.
Right.
And therein, this government alone cannot do that.
Right.
This is the time for the travel trade to come forward and work in sync with the government. Because ultimately, this is going to give the benefits to industry only in long term. Today, I am looking for domestic. Tomorrow, same supply chain will be used for my international tourism also, for inbound also.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to look for long-term benefits.
Right.
Rather than looking for only short-term gains, short-term goals. That today I have started getting domestic tourists. Allow them as much as you can.
Right.
That will not create a positive image in the mind of inbound tourist.
Right. And like you said, that there's a kind of a collective responsibility from government, every human. I mean, two different roles, and then companies to first go with the safer and brand as a safer way of tourism.
Absolutely.
And you see that there is technology going to be changing a lot, right? I mean, this process, the technological innovation will be happening a lot. What's your thought on that, on the technology? What are the direction, where it will go?
See, I firmly believe, you will be happy to know that Amity University was the first in the country to get into Industry 4.0 in our academic curriculum all through 2 years back. So every program of Amity University started giving inputs of Industry 4.0. That means every student will learn all technological tools, whether it is machine learning, big data, IoT, augmented reality, virtual reality. So what happens is when tomorrow my student moves out in the industry, they have a cutting edge over others. And this, period has made our belief more firm. We were the first one to get onto virtual teaching in the first week of March. So 170,000 students were online on MS Teams. We started giving assignments and assessment is done online. All students who were doing internships, their internships were assessed online with the help of industry experts. Now we are going on our end term exams online. So technology is going to play. When I gave you the example of China, very categorically I mentioned that because 80% of 4,000 attractions were even online booking.
Right. True.
So, and online booking is going to play now. If I say, if any airport has to operate tomorrow, and they say we want to have a contact-free, seamless, touch-free, and so on and so forth, a system of operation as SOP, how will they ensure? That is not possible without technology.
Absolutely.
If a hotel says that I want to give you a check-in without any, contact, they can't do it without technology. If I want to give you a visit to a monument without a guide, how can I do that without, augmented or virtual reality experience?
Right.
Because the immersive experience can come only with the user technology. Today, it is not possible for me to sit in my office 24 hours, 365 days. So what do? I get into the tool of virtual reality. I have created dynamic chat boxes. You can leave your query answered very quickly. Processes happens fast, and then because technology it will be on the driving seat now.
Right.
And fortunately, this period has taught us the best leverage.
Correct.
To technology.
Correct.
I mean, probably people earlier were never used to use Zoom.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now we are on WebEx. I am holding webinars every day on WebEx.
Yeah.
And my capacity of Zoom still has a capacity constraint, but WebEx can go up to 1,000 plus attendees. I am using Google Classroom. I am using Google, Doc. I am using all tools for my own advantage. Technology is going to play a pivotal role in changing the future of tourism.
Right. And
I forgot to mention one thing.
Yeah.
How did they get to know that which are the monuments which can attractions which can attract more people? How to restrict that 30% capacity on those attractions?
Right.
They have used big data.
Exactly. Yeah.
The big data has helped them to, through analytics, they analyze those monuments which actually can create problem for them.
Yeah.
So they have created a remote, sensing mechanism.
Yeah.
And through that they have done it. So technology is all the way, playing important role.
Yeah, and like you said, being a technologist in the United States for 20 years, I mean, I definitely think that AR and VR has a great opportunity in the tourism, because now people want to have more virtual reality and big data and deep learning. Certain program basically have the crowd sensing things, which will even better social distancing helpful. So you're absolutely right. I think that's the future.
Maybe one thing more.
Yeah.
Earlier, I used to live alone. I mean, tourism as a discipline is alone.
Right.
Today, I cannot do that. I'll go to my technology department. I'll go to my BTech IT or BTech CSE student or their department, and I'll ask them that I have to run this. I have to design the algorithm. Help me in designing algorithm. So they'll come and they'll tell me and my students how to design an algorithm. Which are those key elements I can pick up, for coding purpose.
Right.
So, there'll be a lot of assimilation, a lot of sync will happen. Yeah. They'll come forward.
Yeah. So great. And it's a great information. Rohit and Anand, up to you guys.
Yeah, I have one question, of course, sir. Like, I'm a travel professional and I've done my study in tourism, and I'm really concerned by the coming generation. Like, some of them has already done their tourism courses and some might be pursuing. And now sitting at this place, like I see, like I have learned about the tourism, but now after COVID-19, you need to have some. Do you have some suggestion to these new students to come with some additional skills as well, so that they can beat this kind of situation?
Rohit, is a very good question. And this is a fear in the mind of today, not less than at least 60,000 students. Those who are going to pass out next year.
Yes.
Why only students who are passing out next year? Let me tell you, the students who are placed in 2020, they are also sent back home. All companies, there's a rule. HR rule says, last in, first out. Very simple philosophy.
Right.
All
True.
employers follow this policy. So since they were
True.
the last in, so they were sent back home, not to tell them that look, you have lost your jobs, but they are told like, look, the moment we get back into business, we'll call you again,
Right.
right? But fear is still there in the mind. Now, this is not the fear of only those students who are pursuing, Rohit. There is a fear from those students, Sanjay ji, who will
Yeah.
come back from US.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
After
Exactly.
studying in US, they'll come back
Exactly.
because there'll be
Exactly.
no jobs in US.
Right.
There'll be thousands of students coming in from France, from Italy, from Germany, from
Right.
Australia, from so many countries where our hundreds of thousands of students have traveled with an aim that they want to do something good in that country. They want to prove their worth,
Worth.
their mental in that country. Now the challenge is from them also because they have studied in a very high-end system of education,
Yeah.
which is quite different from Indian system.
It is.
So an employer like you, Rohit, would like to hire them rather than somebody who is taught in Indian university system. Right?
That's a bitter truth
So-
in a way.
Yeah, so and then there are many people who are working in those countries and they don't have jobs now. They also would like to come back. They started coming back. That Air India is operating those flights for stranded passengers. They're not stranded passengers. They are the ones who want to come back and now live in India again because they have lost their jobs.
Mhm.
Now there'll be a competition from them also. But still, I must confess one thing as a teacher of tourism and over last good 28 years of experience in teaching.
Yes.
Tourism has always come back and it has come back stronger. When I say it has come back stronger, that means the number of jobs requirement, the level of jobs will be many more than before COVID. So there'll be job for everyone, no doubt about it. But the important question is we should change our mindset. Earlier our mindset was, who will hire me? My student used to ask me, sir, who will hire me? Which are the companies you are calling on the campus for placement? Now mindset should change. Now they should ask, or I should ask them, why should they hire you? What is your USP? Tell me. What extra you have done to earn this company, to earn this job? Because you are not the only one. Now you have got multiple competitors. Your competitors are from within the country. Your competitors are student educated outside. Your competitors are also those who have worked outside. They are competing at 3 levels. So now a student has to actually, make them deserving for a job. And how can they make deserving themselves for a job? By becoming a specialist. By becoming a specialist.
Great.
Right.
Sanjay ji asked a very pertinent question. What is the future of tourism? The future of tourism in India is going to be niche tourism. We will have tourism, say, yoga,
Mhm.
Ayurveda, eco-tourism, agro-tourism, medical tourism.
Mhm.
Now, why to forget? We have a very important component. It's called MICE, meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions. Now, this segment was primarily going out of the country. Now, for next 1 year, they are not going to go anywhere. Now, where will they hold the meetings? Within the country.
Right.
Where are they going to have incentives? Earlier, incentive was given to the employers, to the employer, by the employer to the employees, traveling to good destinations, Europe, Southeast Asia, Middle East. Now, where are they going to have it? In India. Conferences will be held in India.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Size may not be that big, but it will be held in India. Then events, major event of wedding. Those theme weddings which were happening in outside world will happen in India now. That means jobs will remain, but I have to make myself specialist. Number one, I have to make myself specialist on destination. Am I good at Peru? Peru is one place which is coming out so well of COVID. Am
Yeah.
I good at Vietnam? Vietnam is almost now zero.
Free.
Am I good at New Zealand? New Zealand is the first country to open doors for the inbound tourist.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The
Wow.
first inbound movement will start between Australia and New Zealand soon. Second important destination to start movement with New Zealand is Indonesia.
Hmm.
So, am I good on such destinations? Have I groomed myself to be fit to sell those destinations? So, every student will have to become a destination specialist. I mean, you can't be master of all. You have to be master of one. If
It's a
you
great
want to
statement.
create, yeah,
Great statement.
if you have to create demand for yourself, and now I may be very good, Sanjay ji, but
Yeah.
probably you might not have known about me otherwise until Rohit had spoken to you or somebody had shared with you about me.
Mm-hmm.
So my demand, if it is not known to you, you remain unknown about it.
Right.
How do I make my demand known to outside world? A very good way. I
Right.
teach my students. Are you on Twitter?
Right.
Are you on LinkedIn?
Right.
Are you on
Right.
Facebook? If you are, how active you are?
Right.
Are you posting on Facebook every day about your achievement, about your activities? Are you posting on LinkedIn? Are you updating your LinkedIn status regularly? Are you following those companies which are your target companies? I mean, there may be two or three, because if I am into adventure tourism, I'll have dream 2 or 3 companies. Am I chasing those companies on LinkedIn? If yes, who are the key people in that company whom I'm chasing?
Right.
Am I projecting to them I'm a aspirant to join your company? Have I told them that I saw your last event where you went and you addressed on this theme?
Right.
And sir, I think it could have been better if you have added this component also. Now this key person start realizing, yeah, this guy is dynamic. I mean, he can read out between the lines from my presentation on this particular area where I am working for last 20 years. Now this gentleman starts building interest in you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you follow him and he follows you.
Right.
And now you can hit when the iron is hot. Sir, is there any opening for me? Rather than asking straight, any opening, you have proved that you have that, that dynamism. You
Right.
have that, desire, that you aspire, and you deserve it. And without proving it, you are asking, they will not pay attention. But once you have proved, you are connected, certainly you are in. So I tell my students, that they should be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. They must know, because tomorrow they will be creating those blogs.
Right.
They'll be writing those stories. They'll be creating those scripts on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn for their companies. If they have not done it for themselves, how can they do it for their companies?
Very right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, it should be a DNA. I mean,
Right.
if I don't have a practice of updating my LinkedIn or my Facebook, or my first question to you was that where are you going to post this?
Right.
So tomorrow when I get this link, I'll post it on my Twitter, on my LinkedIn.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What I am doing, I
Right.
should make people aware about it. So this is
Right.
very important thing. The student must be destination specialist. They must have they must be active on social media channels.
Right.
Then they must have desire to innovate. They must have that desire to think out of the box.
Right.
I mean, this thing can happen only when they have instinct, that basic instinct to design.
Right.
And this
Right.
basic instinct can come only when they are taught properly the research tools.
Right.
If I am not told how to do a market research, if as a student I am not told how to carry out a primary survey, what tools I can use, how I can analyze the data gathered, that big data is of no use to me.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I should have that, mindset of analyzing everything.
Right.
I mean, these are some of, and of course, my overall personality, how I present myself, is very important. Every student must know and must learn. Today, if I am sitting home for 50 days, I still in the morning I wear my shirt, I wear my jacket, and I am on my computer.
Right.
I don't think I am sitting home. I am
Right.
sitting in my office. When I am working on my Sanjay, on my MS Teams,
Yeah.
in MS Teams we have a provision of changing my background effect. So I
Right.
create that background effect of my office.
Right.
So I get full feeling I am working in my office.
Right. Exactly.
And
That's
there should
right.
be,
Yeah.
there should be the feeling of every student today. And
Right.
they should be, today is the opportunity when so many webinars are happening. So
Right.
many, online courses are made available to them. They should do as many, complete as many. But then completion doesn't mean that for the sake of certificate. No, it should be for the sake of knowledge, for the
Right.
sake of learning.
Right.
And then implement and transform this knowledge and learning into practice.
Right.
Great.
This is the main lesson for them, message for them, that they should keep themselves updated.
Right.
I mean, if they,
yeah.
sorry,
go
if they
ahead.
fail to do it, then they are out of the demand.
True. And in addition to Dr. Manohar, so I follow Gary Vee, and this is exactly what you said. You covered all the elements require social proof and branding, and that will keep them alive. I mean, anybody alive or active in the business jobs. If that moving forward, if the branding is not there, then probably it will be difficult to find even job without branding.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And so you brought a great element, and that will be applicable not just to one sector. It will be applicable to operators, any part of hotels, any part of travel industry. They have to work more on their branding piece right now.
See, I must tell you, since Rohit is part of the business, so they will have to have a new, absolutely altogether different business plan.
Yeah.
And this business plan, Rohit alone cannot do. They need young minds. Yeah. So my message to all travel trade members is, please do not leave, do not shell out your staff, because today you don't have cash surplus, you don't have cash supply, but at least retain good people, those who can help you in designing your new business, dynamic business plan. Innovative. Because it is going to be new normal tourism. It is going to be a new normal business process. And these young minds, those who are coming out, they are very creative and they can help you actually in implementing, transforming your business from zero to, not zero, sorry. Tourism will never come back to square one, but wherever the BC has left you.
BC,
yeah. And after AC, you'll start. And they can help you in resuming, reviving, transforming your business.
Very true.
True. Anand,
very interesting points just mentioned, like the preparation of the students for the challenging era, which is post COVID-19 era, and at the same time, if you look at the challenges for the institutions also, I mean, because they are a very important critical stakeholder in that entire process, and it is also very important to understand from you that what the institution should do to make the students industry ready in this challenging era particularly.
Dr. Rai, this is a very, very interesting question. We always have created a rift between ourselves as an institution, as an industry. We always think industry has never supported us, and industry says institutions have never come to us. Mm-hmm. That rift is always there. But this is the time when we have to create a bridge between institutions and the industry. Right. I mean, both hands have to come together with the same pace, with the same speed. Because now, if we don't come together, that win-win situation is lost. So institutions and the industry have to come together to outline a program. Which can actually create industry-ready professionals. For example, what kind of business plan? One plan cannot suit all. If I am into online business, online travel business, I'll have a different game plan altogether. If I am into a travel boutique business, I have a different plan. If I am into retail business, I have a different plan. Retail again, what is the size of my business? What are my business goals? I mean, you are a professor of finance. You know that the balance sheet of company varies. The same balance sheet is not reflected in all companies. So, what is my aspirations? What are my business goals? What are my aims? Depending upon that, these companies and academic institutions can come together. For example, at my Amity University, at our institution, we have set up the first artificial intelligence research lab with the help of the industry. Airtel is supporting us, and they are supporting us, and we have created a lab wherein we have approached 5 big travel organizations that we will identify for you the problem area, and then we will give you solution. But student will get hands-on training on artificial intelligence, the tools. Right. So the industry has to come forward to accept and to give us. We are working closely with PATA, Pacific Asia Travel Association. We are doing a lot of projects for them. These projects are basically survey based. We are identifying the satisfaction level of inbound tourists coming into India from different markets. Now these surveys are helping PATA to advise to Ministry of Tourism. Now for example, Government of India, Ministry of Tourism wanted to set up an overseas tourism office. Now where should they set up the overseas tourism office? Now we find that a tourist coming in from X country is least informed. Now they want more information. So the feedback is passed on through PATA to Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Government of India, Ministry of Tourism now thinking of setting up an office there, so that we can have better inbound tourism from that country. I am talking about Korea, right? So industry and then the institutions have to now. The time has come that we have to redefine our curriculum. Please understand. Right. I mean, universities traditionally have curriculum in existence for years and years. They don't change. Now, during AC, after COVID period, we will have to have dynamic curriculum, industry-driven curriculum. We should have curriculum which actually talks more on or gives more on hands-on training than on theory base. I should inculcate in my students the practice of doing more on MOOC courses. I should give them e-learning content more, to develop in them the habit of using electronic media. Right? So that way we have to now redefine our curriculum, introduce more and more concepts of niche tourism products. Nobody knows about agro-tourism. Agro-tourism in India. India is primarily an agricultural economy. Right. But nobody knows about agro-tourism. We have been talking only about cultural tourism. But time has come, we have to shift away from cultural tourism to different forms of tourism. We call them alternative form of tourism.
True.
Uttarakhand is untouched. We can promote, Himachal is untouched. We can promote our pilgrimage. We can promote our adventure tourism. We can promote our eco-tourism in those places.
Right.
But then, until my students know about these places, they know the unique features of those places, they cannot sell, they cannot market. So to market those places, we have to first, educate our students, inform them. I mean, this is institutions have a key role to play, important role to play actually.
This is such
See,
a great...
until the foundation is strong, building cannot be strong. And foundation is the institution.
Absolutely.
That's perfect, great.
Yeah. And this is such a great insight. So I believe university must be supporting a lot of new startup, because a lot of innovations comes from the startup as well, right?
See, Amity University is privileged to have the DST supported incubator. We have got 4 incubators today, and these all 4 incubators supported by Department of Science Technology, and wherein we have got I think 113 companies incubated so far, and these companies are of our students only. Our students, when they are pursuing their programs, they have an idea. So universities support the idea, both financially and in terms of infrastructure. So we provide them a space in the incubator, and we have a IPR cell. So we help them in registering their idea, patenting their idea, give them all technical support to develop that idea into a pseudo product or a demi product, and help them in coming out to the market. We help them in marketing also. We have a social media group. So in every possible manner. So by the time student passes out, the product is at the launch stage.
Wow, what a great support. And I think this is more needed as the tourism industry requires a lot of innovation, and this is a great way to
absolutely
promote the innovation. Great. So I mean, Dr. Manohar, this was such a great insight. I mean, some of the things which you mentioned, I have never thought about it, and like you touched the alternate form of tourism, agrotourism, and bunch of other tourism, and there's a big chance that they can flourish it. It's a great insight for all of us. Now, while we are about to wrap up the call, is there anything other thing which you want to highlight and want to give suggestion message to tourism industry, and and tell them that just be hopeful, everything is coming in better way, right?
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah. I mean, we have learned from our previous lessons, whether it was SARS, 9/11. I started with 9/11.
Yeah.
SARS. Economic recession, 8-9. I mean, you talk about any stage, tourism is affected, but has come back very strongly. Nothing can stop tourism, because nothing can stop human being traveling. When nothing can stop human being traveling, tourism is there. But of course, this time, tourism is going to come back with great caution,
right? With
great precaution. So every human being when travels will carry a health certificate. Like as of now, Rohit will endorse my statement. If I am traveling to a yellow fever affected region, then I have to carry a yellow fever vaccine certificate.
Right.
But now probably I will have to carry a certificate having a COVID-19 vaccination. So the one more, visa restriction may come into force, but then it will be part of our life. It will be part of our system, and we will not see today. If you look at news channels, Spain has opened, France has opened, Italy has opened, UK has opened, Germany has opened. All countries have opened, and they are promoting the people to come out. And even I find in news channels they are not wearing even masks. They are not maintaining distance also, because that fear has to go out of the mind. Because I always say, Sanjay ji, fear leads to failure.
True.
If I have a fear, will I succeed in this venture? Will I succeed in this experiment?
No.
If Tendulkar goes to play every day with a fear in his mind, that or the Virat Kohli, that will I not be able to hit my 100 today? Then he will be out in 90s or 99.
Yeah.
That fear.
Right.
So fear leads to failure. So we have to get rid of this fear in mind. Whether I am a student, whether I am an industry player, whether I am any stakeholder in my business cycle, I should remember tourism is going to come back. How soon, it is a question mark, but it is going to come back, and it is going to come back strong. Only thing is, I have to, if I'm a student, I have to reconsider, am I ready? If I'm a traveler, if I'm a tour operator, travel agent, I have to reconsider myself, my business system. Is it fit to handle that big business?
New changes.
Am I equipped? If not, time. I am given that, I always say 3 stages of revival.
Mhm.
Pre-revival, revival, and transformation.
Wow. Wow.
So in the stage of pre-revival, that is from 2 to 4 months time for me to gear up. I have time to gear up. Am I geared up? All those agents and tour operators, my lovable community, all those who gear up and equip themselves in the pre-recovery age period will move to recovery stage.
Right. Right.
Rest will eliminate.
Right.
So it's the elimination stage. And all those who successfully implement well-drawn strategies, business plans for the revival will move to transformation. The remaining will eliminate.
Yeah.
So it's for me to decide where I want to eliminate myself or I want to be through.
Right. Right. Wow, such a great, powerful message, such a great, powerful inspiration, such a great, powerful insight. I mean, honestly, we learned a lot from you, Dr. Manohar. Thank you for covering all
It's
that.
my proud privilege to be with you.
Yes,
and
sir.
Thanks to Rohit also for connecting me with you and with the Dr. Rai also with such esteemed panelist. I'm so happy to be with you people.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming on our discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please
Thank you
stay
very much.
connected. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank
you, sir.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.